Assalamu alaikum. This is Ashrawan saying Happy New Year to everybody in advance. I know still there's a couple of days, but I got this opportunity, so I said I might as well wish everybody a Happy New Year. And I hope everybody had a good Christmas and everybody has having a good Kwanzaa. And I wish everybody peace and love. We should uh, we should take care of each other. Uh, it doesn't matter like what the circumstances are. Sometimes we don't need money, just need a smile or a good gesture to make other people. And I'm very excited today that I have with me Imam Habib Ali. I want to say thanks to him that he took the time to come and share with me. He has started a new project, uh, Table of Mercy, and I'm going to ask him about that project, that how he come up with that idea and what his plan. So I want to invite uh, Imam Habib. Imam Habib, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Everything blessed and such a privilege to be back on the show. We started talking during the start of COVID-19, and today here we are again at the end of the year.
Thank you. And I know you have been involved in various other projects, and you're helping inmates and everything. You're doing a lot of work. I don't know how you do it, where you find the time. And now you start another project, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Table of Mercy. So just give me some perspective. What is this Table of Mercy, please?
Yeah, it sounds like Rahmat Kitab, the table, the table of mercy. I first got invited to start this table of mercy during COVID-19. It was around April. I had just moved into my new role at Muslim Food Bank, and same time COVID hit us. And speaking to a number of brothers and sisters in the community, I was able to get the facilities at the IMO Mosque in Etobicoke in Toronto, who provided a venue free of cost. And we started packing. I think our first hampers were like 25, 30 hampers. People donated, the food items came, drop off because it was as now in the lockdown and we couldn't have anyone interacting inside the building. So we packed them and we distributed them. And today, thank God Almighty, for Christmas, we did 600 plus hampers. So the Table of Mercy came out of the idea. I saw in Egypt in Ramadan that people were leaving the table with food on top, open to the public. So it's very much a rahmat and a rahma and a sign of mercy that we can serve humanity.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. So how long you have been doing this Table of Mercy?
So we started around April this year, and our first launch was in the first week of May. And every week we would pack hampers, beg the community to donate the items, beg our network across Canada and even beyond Canada to donate financially towards Table of Mercy, which is under the auspices of a registered charity, Muslim Food Bank. And it has grown in Ramadan. We even had every weekend we were distributing. And then we considered Kurbani, so we gave out in Kurbani as well. And after that, every month we kind of total up how many we were doing per week. And it kept growing every month, 400, 500, now 600. So you could say almost 9 months Table of Mercy has been in the program from the IMO Mosque, 65 Rexdale in Toronto. And I am very, very grateful to all our donors, our volunteers. Without them, we couldn't do this. All our partners, including IMO, Canadian Council of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and of course the community at large. And many of you know yourself how you have been instrumental in being there despite of COVID, wearing mask, keeping your social distance. And we even had to hire a security guard, Mr. Nicholas Timothy. Every week he would come to make sure that persons who were lining up on the Sunday to receive their hampers, they were 6 feet apart, they were socially distanced, they were wearing the mask, and to avoid any kind of rush and issues with the law. So it has been pretty good.
Thank you, ma'am. So what you're saying that there like quite a bit demand, and you want to make sure that all people are following the restriction and the health guidelines. That's very nice of you. Oh, okay, you did mention about the donors, but I want to ask you like specifically like who are the donors? Is it individual? Is business? Is the organizations? Who are the donors for this project?
So we've been very fortunate and privileged to have mosques, churches, mandirs, synagogues, individuals, businesses, charities. Even after leaving Human Concern International this year, and I reached out to them, and they were very kind to assist us. People from all background, and again, I want to emphasize that people from all background, humanity came forth, regardless of religion, color, creed. People from, I remember one young man came all the way from Milton. I said, "How did you hear about us?" He said, "I came to drop off some donated items because my wife heard about it, and she says I have to drop off these items." So you know how that goes. So people from all backgrounds. We even had the journalist from Toronto Star who wrote an article about Table of Mercy earlier. She came with some of her friends for the Christmas drop this last week, and made a donation. So, of course, our majority of donors have been Muslims in Toronto and across the country. Um, so, thanks again to our donors. Thanks for being there and coming out with, we consider non-perishable items as the main item of drop-off. So we either purchased the items from places like Atia Foods, Atia Fresh Foods, which is a great partner, ANS Meat, and some different stores, and we have purchased food, and the remainder we depend upon the drop off.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I know you just mentioned that you have a prepare hampers and everything. Did you have any special drive for the Christmas?
Yeah, so I always wanted to do a turkey drive for Christmas after coming to this country 16 years ago and seeing what Honest Ed had done, and then follow up with Muhammad Faqih and others who have done it for the Christmas. So I reached out to my donors, I reached out to my community, and reached out to family and friends. And I could tell you, friends have been very supportive. We got almost 50 plus turkeys, along with 100 plus chicken and some lamb as well, besides the 600 hampers. And I want to shout out to Muslim Welfare Center, who has been very instrumental in making sure we have hampers on every month when we distribute towards the folks in Jane and Finch. That's one of our partners. The Lions Club is another partner who takes the hampers to the seniors. We have had shelters who have been our partners taking the hampers to their clients. We have had folks who are driving the hampers to folks who cannot make it for the pickup in Turncliffe and Mississauga, downtown Toronto, and Scarborough, Ajax, all the way in Ajax, we have delivered, all the way in Brooklyn, Oakville, we have delivered. So people who have lost their jobs, people who are immigrants, new international students, refugees, people who just can't make ends meet, have all come forth, and that's how we have built the clientele for the Table of Mercy.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. I just want to take a little sideway. I know you have another project called like Aspire. So where that comes like in this whole your charity thing.
So what has happened is that when we started this Table of Mercy, um, we spoke to Muslim Food Bank, which is based in Vancouver, and they already had established a food bank based upon the model of Aspire, basically not to only give food to the needy, but to provide essential services. So finding places to rent, finding a lawyer for the immigration problems, finding the right medical person to talk to, getting driven for an appointment, learning English as ESL, finding more food banks that could provide for them, talking to the children, mental health. So that's how Aspire program is. And therefore, this Muslim Food Bank and Table of Mercy has not only been about providing hampers to family once a month or twice, but we have a string of trained volunteer caseworkers across the country who would pick up the phone and say, "Hello there, Mr. Christopher. Hello there, Sister Fatima. Do you need any further services to make sure that you're comfortable here in Toronto or in Vancouver, in Canada?" And that's why we are very blessed and privileged to have such a unique model of the food bank.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Uh, I know you're like doing a lot of charity work and everything, but lately I noticed that you have started like a weekly webinar. What all that about? Yeah.
So after COVID hit and we couldn't do our usual, shows and galas and dinners, and you always talk to me, Habib, you're in every show, everywhere, multicultural, interfaith fundraiser. So we came up with a strategy which, like most, is not new, right? It's like almost every person on the planet had came up with that strategy, is that to transform everything online. So after discovering Zoom for meetings, and I decided to utilize the Zoom platform, which has not been the best. We have redirect Facebook, YouTube, etc. channels. But interestingly, I was able to establish a weekly webinar, yours, and I call it Your Story of Mercy to Humanity, where we have been able to interview almost 100 personalities across the world. People in Nigeria, people in the States, people in Guyana, Trinidad, across Canada, people from the UK. So one of my first interviews was a doctor who happened to be a friend. We went to school in Guyana in Queen's College, and I rediscovered him on Facebook, and I interviewed him, and he is both a convert, an Islamic scholar, as well as a naturopath doctor. So we have had people, people like Muhammad Faqih came on the show that we interviewed. People like Dr. Hamid Slimi came on the show. We even were able to have chaplains to show solidarity during the George Floyd murder and for Black Lives Matter. So thankfully, I think there was another way of us providing a platform in our community to highlight the success stories of persons in our community, and to that become an inspiration for others. And I'm very thankful for all those who joined us to be interviewed, as well as who joined us to listen in on Facebook Live and YouTube and on Zoom.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And I want to ask you like a little different question. I know you have been involved in our correction system, in which you go to each facility and you will provide the guidance about the religious or religion, and make sure those people are those people are getting their religious requirement. But this year, since this COVID-19, how did you manage that? Did you go to the places, or you were giving them virtual lessons?
Yes, thank you for asking that, because that's an integral part of my community service. And it was very heartbreaking to know that we couldn't visit the brothers and sisters. We couldn't talk to them on the phone. There was no way you could get them on Zoom or on the telephone. So we were actually off service until around September, and into October, November, December. We continued to visit the brothers and the sisters, and were able to provide services despite of the COVID. There was no COVID breakout in the prisons then, and with social distancing, with wearing masks, and of course with very few people for Jumu'ah, very few people for the one-on-one sessions. We were able to continue doing the service, so we are grateful for Correction Services to enabling the chaplains to return. And we have recently had a Zoom call with the Prime Minister of Canada, actually, 400 interfaith leaders across Canada. And that's one of the asks we've asked the Prime Minister to consider the chaplains and the clerical, the religious social workers to be considered as essential workers, because it's such an essential service, given the rise in mental health and the lack, therefore, of enough services. So that's how we have been able to serve as chaplains during the COVID-19.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I know you're very busy. You have to go, but I'm going to ask you two more questions. The first question is, year 2020. We all are complaining that we have this, we have that. My God, is there anything you found in 2020 which you are grateful, and you say, no, wait a minute, there are good things in 2020?
Yes, there have been good things in 2020, and I want us to remember our brother Muhammad Zafis, that was murdered because of a racist, fascist white supremacists that came to attack him while he was guarding the mosque of IMO. He was an integral volunteer of our Table of Mercy. He was the day number one. I remember him. We were packing the hampers, and he was sitting there watching us and watching me and not saying anything. At that time it was himself guarding the mosque, and then he started talking. And next thing we could call upon him anytime to receive the hampers, to distribute the hampers, to pack the hampers, to guard the mosque, to be there with us, to make a joke, to cook something for us to eat. So I want to say that at his funeral, we were able to garner interfaith leaders, family, and friends from all walks of life across Canada, including the Prime Minister of Canada, including Mayor John Tory, Doug Ford, and many others who came forth for such a wonderful send-off to our brother. Just as a reminder that as much as Canada is still plagued, and the Prime Minister said that during the Black Lives Matter kneeling, that we have racism in Canada. As much as we are faced with Islamophobia, anti-Black racism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, xenophobia, and all forms of racism, this is just a gesture, or this is just a gesture of positivity and kindness and allyship that we have found, and we hold on to that as an act of hope throughout 2020. That there are still people who are ready to defend, people who are ready to show love, and people who believe in the faith and believe in the hope. And we are grateful for that. That IMO Mosque has bounced back. The very next 2 days after the funeral, we were able to bounce back and continue the Table of Mercy distributing the hampers. And we have continued ever since in the name of Brother Muhammad Zafis. So I want to think about that. And I want to thank all the family and friends and volunteers and donors who have really and truly stood with me throughout this 2020 and to making the Table of Mercy a success.
Thank you, Brother Imran. Thank you, Brother Imran. Okay, another thing now, the last question to you. We are almost at the end of 2020. What do you hope for 2021?
2021, with a vaccine available, I'm hoping that we will all look on the side of science rather than look at the side of conspiracy theories, and enable ourselves, our family and friends, and our communities, and those who are vulnerable, those who are in the front lines, of course, and everyone that could possibly have a job at the vaccine, so that this is a hope, this is faith, this is a bright future that we have to end the pandemic. So we could, 2021, we could plan our vacations, plan our galas again, have a better and stronger support for the Table of Mercy, and of course, to interview some of the best personalities around the world on a webinar, and so that the doors continue to open for the prisons, so that we can continue. Already I'm talking to folks and volunteers and well-wishers of the One Love Gala, which we usually have around February, around Black History Month. And as much as no one is happy to have an online gala, but there's still talks of having the gala. So there are certain things that I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a stronger and better relationship with all our loved ones. And then I want to make a prayer as well at this time that for those that we have lost, family and friends and persons in the community and at large during COVID, we know you are martyrs and heroes that have gone beyond. And we pray that God's mercy enwrapped and embrace you, and to grant your loved ones who have been left behind with safety and endurance and patience during this time of trial and tribulation.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Yeah, you were right that I miss those events too, like Love and Gala, and I think you have one Eid by the lake here in Durham, and I miss that one too. Then you have that Ramadan of Iftar, So yeah, I miss that too, So I'm hoping for that we will have those in person. Thank God. So
and you know what I miss? Like miss hugging you, Brother Arshad.
So is there any other message you want to convey, Master?
So finally, I would like to say that we've had besides the Table of Mercy and the webinar, we have been able to dabble in a few other things during this year to continue to help the community. And the Ijaz Chowdhury murder, for example, we were there with interfaith leaders. The Guyana elections, we were standing up for democracy. We have continued to feed the children in Guyana and around the world in collaboration with many other charities. So I want to say that don't let the lockdown um, lock you out from the hopes of compassion and mercy and love and kindness to others. Um, After all, that's all we have remaining: our humanity, our dignity, our love, our compassion. And I'm hoping that 2021 that would be exasperated even more, and we could see more manifold manifestations of standing up against anti-black racism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, homophobia, and all forms of discrimination, and we can have a more loving year. So I say peace out, one love.
Thank you, brother, and thank you so much. So I hope to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Shalom, Shanti, Salam Alaikum,
Thank,
and have a lovely 2021.
thank you. Thank you. So we were. So that was brother Imam Habib, uh, who described his new project. But in a nutshell, what his message is that we should love each other, we should respect each other, we should take care of each other, and that's the way there's going to be love and peace in the world. So from me, all the best, peace on earth, happy new year in advance. So I see you guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.